you're about to post on Instagram, I'm just gonna need you to stop right there. Thank you very much. That's like a Spice Girls line though. I'm just gonna need you to stop what you're doing and watch this video first, because I'm going to be breaking down the 5 things that you should do after you post on Instagram to ensure maximum success, not just for that post, but for your channel in general. By the way, my name's Jade and I upload content like this every single week. So if this is of interest to you, I recommend subscribing. Let's just dive right into the first thing that you should do when you have posted new content on Instagram. So the very first thing that you should do is add your post to your story to drive engagement. Before you roll your eyes at me and tell me that you know that this is something you should be doing, I need you to wait 1 second, because there is a very tactical way that you should be doing this. I'm not saying just to share the post to your stories, call it a day, kick your feet up and relax, although I definitely do that sometimes. What I am saying is to be aware that there is a very tactical way that you can share your post to your stories, which will help your post get a lot more engagement, okay? So what you want to do is share a story which is related to your recent post. So you don't want to share your post straight away. Instead, you want to spark a bit of interest from your audience by talking about something that is related to your recent post. There's a few things that I want you to bear in mind here. This is going to work especially well if you've got some kind of engagement sticker on your story. So if you're using a poll or a Q&A box, or you know, the love heart slider, or even that like emoji tappy one. I really need like some official names for these stickers. Because I don't think these are it. But if you're using something which encourages your audience to engage with your story in some way, you're going to see better results. And there's a few reasons for this. The first reason is that people engaging with your story will signal to the story algorithm that your content is really well received, which means that even more people will now see your story. So more eyeballs, right? The second reason is that people engaging with your content is going to increase the chances that they're going to want to see your next story. And your next story is going to be all about your actual post. So instead of just diving right in and just sharing your post to your story straight away, you're going to spark interest first by having some kind of engagement sticker talking about whatever it is your post is about. And then you're going to share your post to your stories, okay? So here's an example. I uploaded a post where I asked the question, are you guys a fan of non-fiction books? And then I used the poll sticker so that people could tell me whether they were a fan of non-fiction books or whether they weren't a fan of non-fiction books. Now in the next story, I actually shared the post in question. So the post that I was talking about there is one where I break down my favorite non-fiction books. So that way I've sparked interest from my audience. I've gotten more eyeballs on my stories because I've used an engagement sticker. And on the next post, I've given them a link to my relevant content. I've even taken it one step further and I've included some copy which will encourage people to actually click on my post. So I've said, if you selected the answer loved them in relation to non-fiction books, then you're gonna wanna read this caption. So not only have I shared the post to my stories, but I've given people a reason to click on that post and actually engage with it more. I think this is a really strong way to get people to actually click on your post and engage with it further. And I much prefer this method than covering your post with some sticker and then encouraging people to actually click on it in order to see the actual content. That is a little bit clickbaity, although I will raise my hand up and say that I definitely used to do that. It is a bit clickbaity though, so I think this method is a lot more effective. The second thing I'm going to want you to do might feel slightly unnatural, but I'm going to want you to leave your analytics alone. Now, I'm a big fan of posting and ghosting, so I will share my content, I will check that it's uploaded correctly, and I will keep it moving. I am not going to sit and look at the analytics for that post. Yes, I might look at the comments and more on that later, but I'm not going to sit and consistently refresh my page so that I can see how many plays my reel is getting or how many likes my post is getting. And here's why. I do not believe in deleting content after you've shared it. If there was nothing wrong with your post, you've uploaded it correctly, and no one's taken offense by the content that you've shared, then I don't see why you should delete it, right? Even if you've shared it and you've thought, oh, I'm not sure if that was right for my brand, or you don't think it was the best thing you could have possibly done, or it wasn't the best quality ever. If you've gotten to the point where you've been ready to share the post, then I think that's proof that you wanted the post to be shared. Leave the post, let it marinate, see how it performs, and learn from it at a later date. It's really important that we do not make these big changes to our content or to our strategy off the back of seeing that one post didn't perform how you wanted it to within the first hour of it going live. We need to exercise discipline and give our content at least a month to breathe and then holistically look at all of our posts and take learnings from our content that way. Because that is how you're going to start noticing patterns and trends. And that's actually how you're going to start making really effective changes to your strategy rather than just one post not performing how you wanted it to. Okay, so the next thing I want you to do is to hang out in your comments. And I don't just mean the comment section of your recent post, I mean the comment section of all of your posts. So here's why. When you hang out in the comment section of your post, and by hang out I mean you interact with people, you respond to people, etc., what you're actually doing is sending a signal to Instagram's algorithms which tells them that you have some kind of relationship with the people who are commenting on your content. When Instagram thinks that you have a relationship with people commenting on your content, it is going to share your content higher up on their feed, because Instagram is trying to share your content with people who are going to want to see it, right? So if you're commenting and interacting with your audience in the comment section of your posts, Instagram are going to think that these people who you're interacting with probably want to see your content. So it's probably going to give your content a bit of a boost, right? So hang around in the comment section. Another thing you could do, which is a bit more of like a pro tip, is to make note of any feedback or any common comments that you're receiving under your content. Because a lot of the time your audience will tell you if there's something you can improve on. They will tell you if there's something they want you to dive deeper into. Like, listen to what your audience are saying, because they are the best sources of content inspiration. So keep a document where you can make notes of common feedback or common things that your audience are saying in the comment section of your posts. The fourth thing I want you to do is to respond to any unanswered DMs. So the reason for this is similar to the previous step, and it's because when you send DMs to people, Instagram's algorithms go into overdrive. They go into hyperdrive, because traditionally DMs are usually sent between like friends and family. So if you are DMing someone, there is a very big chance that Instagram's going to be like, hold on a minute, these two people know each other. Let's make sure that this person has seen your recent post. DMs are one of the strongest signals that you can send to the algorithm, specifically when you are actually DMing back and forth with people. So please do not take this piece of information as my way of telling you to start randomly cold DMing people. That is definitely not what I'm saying. What I am saying though is that if you have unanswered DMs after you post, or maybe even before you post if you've got the time, is the best time for you to start responding to those DMs, right? Tell the algorithm that these people are your friends, and also tell the algorithm to ensure that these people are seeing your content. The fifth thing I want you to do is to start making a plan for how you're going to repurpose this content. Yes, guys, I want you to almost immediately start to figure out how you can basically rinse and repeat that post. I am a huge advocate for repurposing content. People often tell themselves that they shouldn't repurpose content because otherwise they are repeating themselves and people will notice. And I have two things to say back to that. First of all, you are giving yourself a bit too much credit there, my friend. A lot of people aren't gonna notice if you're repeating yourself ever so slightly. I hate to break it to you, but most people are not gonna notice. The second thing I have to say to that is if people do notice, that is a good thing. When you repeat yourself and when you consistently say the same messaging or talk about similar things, all you're doing is reminding your audience that this is what you believe in and these are the things that you like. That is a good thing. You are building your brand, right? You are ensuring that next time someone thinks of you, they remember the things that you like to talk about, the content you like to create, and the things that you believe in, right? This is brand building. Let's think about TV advertising. Not only is it quite literally built for repetition, so you will see the same TV ad multiple times. If you're anything like me, a day, because I watch a lot of TV, it's always on in the background, right? Not only that, but even if a company releases a different TV ad, it's still got to have the same messaging in it. It will be presented differently, but it has the same messaging because they know that repetition works, right? They're brand building. So when I say I want you to start thinking about how you're going to repurpose this content, what I want you to do is to pay attention to if your audience has resonated with any particular part of your content. If you're a fashion blogger, has your audience resonated with a specific outfit or trend or colorway that you use that you can dive deeper into, right? If you're like an educational content creator like me, has your audience started to ask specific questions about one thing that you mentioned in your reel? So maybe you should dive deeper into that thing and explain it further, right? Think about specific parts of your content that you can pull out, dive deeper into, or present in a slightly different way. Maybe it was a carousel that you've just posted that you can now repurpose into a reel, or vice versa. get creative and think about different ways that you can repurpose your content. That is it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you got value from it. Please be sure to let me know if you did in the comments. That's how I know that you're enjoying my content. If you feel like hanging around, I recommend watching this video. It is all about my top IG features or hacks that you probably don't know about. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video.